Hawaiians don't care. This had been a familiar theme in my growing up, and it was understandable to me in later years why this had become the theme song of so many Hawaiians. Disillusionment or rank disinterest are welcomed abstractions where psychic pain is so great it is difficult or impossible to search for and to find comforting antidotes to the reality of loss and defeat.
I went to Kamehameha School, graduated in 1963, never heard about an overthrow. Never. Never. We were on the streets. We were on the streets doing kaho'olawi when we heard about the overthrow.
What did you think the palace was?
I have no idea. So, from what I understood, on the streets, a lady named Louisa Rice found a book in the back of a taxi cab written by Queen Liliuokalani, the story of Queen Liliuokalani, and she's the one who brought this thing out in the open on the streets, and the rumors went out. There was an overthrow, and it was da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So it was like, what? So the first thing is anger. Who did this? What? So you take that anger and use all that energy and you go find out more and more and more and more.
My experiences with teaching Hawaiian history, or elements of our history and culture to my students, have been that they don't know our history. You know, they haven't been raised with it in their households, whether it was through books or through what was in the media. You know, it was absent, you know, in many of their households, as it was in mine. Their identity is questioned constantly, and when I introduce that to them, there's a reaction that is not comfortable for them or for me, you know. So that initial reaction is one of, it can't be. That can't be. That's not the history that I learned.
So I grew up on the island of Maui. My father was a third generation Paniolo. He was born and raised in Ulupalakua. He was a very dark-skinned Hawaiian man. And my mother was white, and I had adopted or inherited my mother's white skin. That presented a conflict a lot of the times, not only from the general population, but also within my own family. There was this tendency for people to not think that I was the child of Andrew Kauai Sr. Because of course, the differences in our skin color. And I kind of had grew up always having that particular conflict, even to the point where it kind of even pushed me away from Hawaiian identity. And so when people would ask me, are you Hawaiian, right? They would see my last name, Kauai. Of course, that would be one of the first questions they ask, and I would say, yes. The next question that follows that is, how much Hawaiian you? And of course, I never really knew how to answer that question. But what they were looking for was a percentage, blood quantum. And even though I only knew my father to be Hawaiian, only his parents to be Hawaiian, I definitely wasn't about to tell anybody that I was half Hawaiian, because of course that would stir up more problems than I would want. And so usually what I would say is I was 20%. That seemed like a number that was acceptable based on my skin color and based on the general public perception of what a Hawaiian is supposed to look like.
When the United States Senate opened its 2007 session, Senator Daniel Akaka, Democrat from Hawaii, reintroduced a bill entitled the Native Hawaiian Government Reorganization Act. The bill's purpose is to form a Native Hawaiian governing entity capable of negotiating with the state of Hawaii and the federal government on behalf of the native people of the Hawaiian Islands. This bill, commonly referred to as the Akaka Bill, is a direct result of a 1993 public apology by the United Church of Christ, whereby the Church apologized to Native Hawaiians for its role in the 1893 overthrow of the Hawaiian Kingdom. The public apology by the Church would lead to a formal apology from the 103rd Congress of the United States, known as the Apology Resolution. Public Law 103-150 concludes with a disclaimer that states, "Nothing in this joint resolution is intended to serve as a settlement of any claims against the United States." Since 1898, the language used in federal documents relating to Hawaii has been anything but clear. Could a century of ambiguous documentation, coupled with a history that possesses multiple versions, serve as the modern-day version of divide and conquer? In attempting to answer this question, it is necessary to first establish an undeniable truth, something everyone can agree upon. On January 17, 1893, the Kingdom of Hawaii was a duly recognized independent nation. With that as our premise, let us begin our journey. With every quest, there abides a story, a series of detailed facts arranged to assist the seeker in discovering the answer. He Hawaii au, e no ko o mo'olelo.